Hello, everyone, and welcome to Principles of Business Week 4. It's hard to believe we're almost halfway through our 8 weeks together. I hope you've had a chance, if you haven't caught up on your reading, to catch up, because we are entering the final phase of this class. So let's talk about Week 4. First of all, I want to remind everyone that you owe me the topic of your final research paper. I put some suggestions in Moodle, and I talked about them in previous week's lectures, but you don't have to stick to those topics. I want to honor your own career goals and your own interests. So if you have a topic other than what I've listed there, please let me know what that is and see if we can improve it. I want it to be interesting for you. I hope also that you're working on your case study, which is due in week 6. It's on Sonic. You should have all the information that you need about that. As always, you can email me any questions that you have. I check email at least once a day, and I'll promise to get right back to you. This week is midterm week, and I will be doing a review for the midterm at the midpoint of today's lecture, which I will record at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Monday, and post for your viewing pleasure. All right, so this week we're on chapters 7 and 8, organization, teamwork, communications, and managing operations. So we're going to talk about the different types of organizations that are out there. Organizations are structured very differently depending on their goals and what they offer, how big or small they are, and whether or not they're global. Also, it's dictated by the customers that they serve. We're going to talk about the different kinds of teams that companies employ. Whether it's a work team, we'll be talking about self-directed work teams, which is a team where no one person is the head of the team, and all members of the team work together to create the results needed. We'll talk about the difference between groups and teams and task forces, and we'll also be talking about communication. Communication being one of the top concerns in any company. Organizations are structured in different ways depending on who they are and what they do. And we'll be talking about culture as well, organizational culture. And that's a little bit more abstract, an abstract concept. But if you think about an old line insurance company that's maybe headquartered in downtown Chicago, that's been there since the 1860s, for example, that's going to have a very different organizational culture than a startup in Silicon Valley. And that's important for you to know, depending on what organization you work for, or if you're intending to start your own business, how you want to structure that kind of culture you want to have in your company. Chapter 8 gets into really the managing of operations for both service and manufacturing companies. And we'll be talking about that, the different levels of management, C-level management being the top level, middle management, and then line management. We're also going to be talking about quality and quality systems, which is probably something that you've heard of. ISO 9000, that's the international organization that comes into companies and evaluates their quality systems and gives them a ranking. So they can be ISO 9000 certified, which is kind of the gold standard, ISO certified, I should say, which is the gold standard for manufacturing and service companies as well. So we'll be talking about all of those things. As I mentioned, you should be working on your case study. You should be studying for the midterm, which you will have to make arrangements with California Miramar to do this week. All right, let's look at lesson 4 assignments. You're going to be reading chapters 7 and 8 and catching up on any chapters that you haven't gotten read yet. As always, participating in the learning engagements, and most of you are doing a great job with that. It's fun to read what you have written and reply. And then there will be the midterm examination. As always, and this is very important, not just for this class, but for your career, review and become familiar with the key terms that are used in the chapters. There's a great glossary at the back of your textbook if you come across a word you don't know. But by having a good vocabulary of these business terms, you're going to stand out in terms of your interviews and on-the-job activities. Business has its own vocabulary, as you know. All right, let's look at what I've got for you in Moodle. As always, we've got the lesson 4 materials, which are just basically an overview of the chapters. I have the PowerPoint for the week in there, both in PDF and PowerPoint format. It's the same PowerPoint. For those of you that don't have the application PowerPoint, you can view the PDF. The assignments, and then there's some videos. Lean startup. If you think about a lean person, it's someone who's very slender. And that's the goal of most organizations now. They want to operate as close to the bone, you might say, as necessary. So just the basics. It's where you get into things like just-in-time inventory and really economy of resources, including employees. Your textbook talks about Green Mountain coffee roasters, so I've got a video for you there that you can take a look at. Best Buy. Probably a lot of you have bought things from Best Buy. So how does Best Buy go green? Sustainability has become very, very important for companies to show that they're a sustainable organization. In other words, friendly to the environment and certainly not harmful. So there's a video there where you can see what Best Buy does. I was surprised. I didn't realize that, for example, they will take all the old cables that you're no longer using. They'll take those back and recycle them. So learned something new there. Patagonia is an organization that makes clothing for outdoor sports primarily, and they have been lauded as one of the most sustainable companies out there. So you'll be able to take a look and see what they're doing. Toyota actually changed the way that we make products here in the United States, and there's a video on that as well. There's also an overview of what's called operations management, which is a course at many universities. I'm not sure if it is at CMU, but it certainly is at many universities. As a matter of fact, my husband has taught operations management at Cal State San Marcos. So there's a video there for you as well. The midterm exam is there for you, and so you will be able to take that. But please watch the videos first so that you can get the review for the test. All right, with that, I'm going to sign off and wish everyone a great week. And I will see you this afternoon, either live or when you decide to view the video that I will post for the week later today. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.